Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today. So my name is Abbey and I am one of the assessment consultants at Pearson Clinical Assessment. So just to make you aware that we are recording this webinar today. So in our session today, I'm going to be going through some of our updates regarding products and digital platforms that I hope you'll all find useful. So here is the agenda of our session. So I'll begin with some product updates. The Wyatt 3 UK is not a new product, but the qualification code has been updated. So I'll outline the assessment and give details of the differences between the Wyatt 3 and the Wyatt 3 for teachers, for those of you who have used this version before. The Ravens 2 is a newer product and was published in 2019. So I'll also give an overview of this. Next, I'll touch on the other assessments that we have available, which are suitable for access arrangements. I'll then give an overview of our digital platforms, Q Global and Q Interactive, for those of you who are interested in using digital administration, scoring or reporting. And then finally, I'll provide some information on what my team and I are offering in terms of online meetings and sessions. So I'll start with an overview of the Wyatt 3 UK. So the Wyatt 3 is an individually administered clinical instrument designed to measure achievement. So this consists of 16 subtests to evaluate listening, speaking, reading, writing, and mathematics skills. So for those of you who are who use or are familiar with the teacher version of this test, the Wyatt 3 teacher was used and developed using the same norms and subtests, but the Wyatt 3 just has some extra subtests and indices that I'll cover on the next slide. So as mentioned, it's not a new assessment. This was published in 2017. The age range covers from 4 years through to 25 years, 11 months for UK norms. And for the US norms, these are available for an older age range in the technical manual. Administration is individual, so 45 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on the age. And there are 3 different options available. So you either have the traditional paper format, or there are digital options for Q Global, which covers administration for telepractice and scoring, and also Q Interactive. So the qualification code is CL2R/CL2. So as mentioned, this has been recently updated. So this assessment is available for use with CL2R qualified individuals with a master's degree in psychology, education, speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, social work, counselling, or in a field that's closely related to the intended use of the assessment, and formal training in the ethical administration, scoring and interpretation of clinical assessments. If you are unsure of your qualification code, then please just register with us online or contact our customer services team. The Wyatt 3 UK also allows for flexible administration. So examiners may choose to administer a single subtest, a subset of the subtests, or they could administer all 16 subtests depending upon the age level of the student, the purpose of the assessment, and the subtests and composite scores that are required. So here you can see a list of the 16 subtests in the Wyatt 3 UK compared with the teacher version. So you can just see the additional subtests that are available. So I'll now go through each one for you. So with the listening comprehension, this subtest contains 2 components. So you have receptive vocabulary, and this measures listening vocabulary. So the student points to the picture that best illustrates the meaning of each word that he or she hears. And the second part is the oral discourse comprehension, and this measures the ability to make inferences about and remember details from oral sentences and discourse. So with this one, the student listens to the sentences and the passages and orally responds to comprehension questions. For early reading skills, this measures several areas deemed important for developing reading skills, such as naming letters, letter sound correspondence, phonological awareness, and word reading comprehension. So the student names letters of the alphabet, identifies and generates rhyming words, identifies words with the same beginning and the same ending sounds, blends sounds, matches sounds with letters and letter blends, and also matches written words with pictures that illustrate their meaning. For reading comprehension, this measures untimed reading comprehension of various types of text that include fictional stories, informational texts, advertisements, and also how-to passages. So the student may read passages aloud or silently, and then after each passage, the student orally responds to the literal and inferential comprehension questions that are read aloud by the examiner. For maths problem solving, this measures untimed maths problem solving skills in the following domains. So you have basic concepts, everyday applications, geometry, and algebra. And the student provides oral and pointing responses. For alphabet writing fluency, this measures the ability to write letters of the alphabet within a 30-second time limit. So the student may write letters in any order, in cursive or in print, and in upper or lowercase. For sentence composition, the sentence composition subtest contains two different components. So we've got sentence combining and sentence building. So for sentence combining, this measures sentence formulation skills and written syntactic maturity. So the student combines 2 or 3 sentences into one sentence that preserves the meaning of the original sentences. And for the sentence building, this measures the sentence formulation skills and written syntactic ability. So for each of the items, the student is asked to write one sentence that uses a target word with appropriate context. So the next one is word reading, and this measures speed and accuracy of decontextualized word recognition. So the student reads aloud from a list of words that increases in difficulty. The list of words is read without a time limit, and then the examiner records the student's progress after 30 seconds. Then they will continue the administration until the discontinue rule is met or until the last item is administered. For essay composition, this measures spontaneous compositional writing skills within a 10-minute time limit. The next one is pseudo-word decoding. So this measures the ability to decode nonsense words. So the student reads aloud from a list of pseudo-words that increases in difficulty. The list of pseudo-words is read without a time limit again, and then the examiner records the student's progress after 30 seconds and continues the administration again until the discontinue rule is met or until the last item is administered. For numeracy, this measures untimed written maths calculation skills in the following domains. So you've got basic skills, basic operations with integers, geometry, algebra, and calculus. Oral expression. This subtest contains 3 components. So we've got expressive vocabulary, and this measures speaking vocabulary and word retrieval. So the student says the word that best corresponds to a given picture and definition. The second component of this subtest is oral word fluency, and this measures the efficiency of word retrieval, so how easily he or she can produce words and the flexibility of thought processes. So the student names as many things as possible belonging to a given category. So for example, you could have animals or colours, and this is within 60 seconds. And finally, sentence repetition. So this measures oral syntactic knowledge and short-term memory. So the student listens to sentences that increase in length and complexity and repeats each sentence. The next one is oral reading fluency, and this measures speed, accuracy, fluency, and prosody of contextualized oral reading. So the student reads passages aloud and then orally responds to comprehension questions after each passage. So fluency is calculated as the average number of words that are read correctly per minute. A qualitative scale is completed by the examiner to assess the student's reading prosody. Comprehension questions are asked only to encourage reading for meaning, and comprehension performance is not scored quantitatively. For spelling, this measures written spelling of letter sounds and single words. So the student hears each letter sound within the context of a word and each word within the context of a sentence. and then the student will write down the target letter sound or target letter word. And finally, we have maths fluency. So this measures the speed and accuracy of a student's addition, subtraction, and multiplication calculations, and this is in 3 separate subtests. So the student solves written problems within a 60-second time limit for each. So if you did want to purchase the additional materials for these subtests that are not included in the WIAT Free for Teachers, you'll essentially need to order everything minus the word card and the oral reading fluency booklet, but we do sell all of these components separately. So now on to scoring and standardisation. So the WIAT 3 UK has 8 composite scores. So we have oral language, total reading, basic reading, reading comprehension and fluency, written expression, mathematics, maths fluency, and total achievement. So some of the subtests that contribute to a composite do not contribute to the composite at every possible age. So please make sure that you do check the ages in the manual for more specific details. You can see the types of derived scores that are yielded by the WIAT 3 UK composites and subtests. So there is the score type, the standard score, percentile ranks, age or grade equivalent, normal curve equivalent, the standard 9 and growth score. So in regards to the standardisation of the test, the normative sample included was 744 students aged between 4 years and 25 years, 11 months. And these were divided into 14 different age bands. So now on to the Ravens Progressive Matrices 2. So this is a non-verbal assessment of general cognitive ability. So specifically, the Ravens defines the trait that the progressive matrices measures as adductive ability, which is one of the key components of general intelligence, or G, identified by Spearman. Adductive ability involves the ability to think clearly and to solve complex problems. So the Ravens 2 items consist of universal geometric shapes that are recognisable with any level of education. The test requires only minimal verbal instruction and no spoken or written responses. So these features minimise the impact that language skills and cultural backgrounds may have on the test's performance. The Ravens 2 is suitable for the assessment of a full range of cognitive ability in those who are not language proficient, who have communication-related disabilities, or who are from culturally diverse populations. So it is available for ages 4 through to 69 years, 11 months, and this can be administered using traditional paper format or digital format using Q Global, which is Pearson's web-based administration, scoring and reporting platform. Users may choose between traditional paper or digital administration, depending on their accessibility to the required digital devices. Q Global is the platform used for digital administration, scoring and reporting of the test. For paper testing, scoring and reporting, this may be automated via Q Global, simply by entering the examinee's item responses into the programme. Regarding group testing, older children and adults may be tested in groups of any size, and it is recommended that an examiner is present for every 10 to 15 examinees. So for some very young children, for example, ages 7 or younger, these may need to be tested individually or in a smaller group of fewer than 4, just to ensure that it's valid results. And this assessment has a CL2R qualification code. So on screen, you can see an example of the score summary from a Q Global report. So scoring the Ravens 2 using Q Global digital forms are scored automatically using the Q Global platform, where a report is generated. To score the paper form using Q Global, you would simply select the Q Global manual entry option and then enter the required examinee's information and their item responses. If an item response is missing or is uninterpretable, so for example, 2 responses were chosen for an item, then you can leave this item response blank. Hand scoring is also available using the scoring keys. So as you can see from the table, you get the total raw score, ability score, standard score, percentile rank, confidence intervals, normal curve equivalent, the standard 9, descriptive classification, and age equivalents. The Ravens 2 European standardisation project focused on collecting a stratified sample for European regions, which was covering France, Germany, the Netherlands, Scandinavia, Spain, and the UK, establishing the normative data and providing evidence of reliability and validity. Data collection took place between May 2018 and July 2019, and all standardisation forms were administered with the paper version of the US Ravens 2 publication, either individually or as a group. A primary goal of the adaptation work for the Ravens 2 was to create a common norm available and applicable throughout several European countries. The Ravens 2 is highly suitable to create a common norm for measuring general cognitive ability. And this test is non-verbal and has little verbal instruction. The content of the items is also not culturally biased, so the pictures are abstract with no meaningful or interpretable context, and the colours are all neutral. So the same item set can therefore be applied in all European countries. These characteristics allow it to create overall norms based on smaller subsamples per country with similar quality standards in comparison to approach where larger sized normative samples per country are created. A benefit of this approach is that examinees will receive similar and comparable results, regardless of which country that they're tested. For example, when applying Ravens 2 in an internationally focused or European research studies, or when testing individuals in a non-Western European background. Special groups include intellectually gifted, intellectual disability, and English language learners. I believe that we have shared a recording of the full Ravens 2 webinar today, but we also have this on our website if you do wish to know more. So now moving on to access arrangements. Here is a table of all of the assessments that are available for access arrangements. So we have the theory test of visual motor integration, and this helps assess the extent to which individuals can integrate their visual and motor abilities, and also provides supplemental visual perception and motor coordination tests. And this age range is from 2 years to 100 years, with the updated norms from 2 years to 18 years. And this is suitable for extra time. There's also the comprehensive test of phonological processing for extra time. We have the DASH and the DASH 17+. And this is a detailed assessment of speed of handwriting, which uses core tests of copy fast, copy best, alphabet writing, free writing, and supplemental subtests of graphic speed. So it is suitable for scribe and for extra time, and this is available on Q Global. We have dyslexia screeners for junior, secondary, early, and adult, and all of these are used to identify children at risk of dyslexia. Got the GORT-5, which is the grey oral reading test, and this measures oral reading fluency and comprehension for 6 years to 23 years, 11 months. The scores available are rate, accuracy, fluency, comprehension, and oral reading index. There's also the grey silent reading test to measure silent reading comprehension ability. The Kaufman Brief Intelligence Test can be used to measure verbal and non-verbal cognitive ability. The Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement, which is an in-depth assessment to evaluate academic skills in reading, maths, written language, and oral language. So these subtests work towards extra time, language modifier, and scribe, and these are available on Q Global and on Q Interactive. There's the Ravens 2, which is the non-verbal assessment of general cognitive ability. And this can be done in groups and on Q Global or on paper. There's also the test of memory and learning and the test of word reading efficiency. Got the WIAT 3, and just to note, the new oral reading fluency subtest on the WIAT 3 provides standard scores for both reading fluency and for reading speed on passages read aloud and with a comprehension question. The RAT 5, which is the wide range achievement test, which measures the reading, spelling and maths, and this is available on Q Global and on Q Interactive. The wide range intelligence test, which provides a general measure of intelligence and is available on Q Global. And finally, the Woodcock reading mastery test, which assesses reading readiness and skills, and again is available on Q Global. So now on to the digital platforms. So at Pearson Clinical, we have 2 different digital platforms, and they're always being updated with assessments. So we have Q Global and Q Interactive. Both are separate platforms and work in slightly different ways. So Q Global was originally developed as a scoring platform and used for questionnaire-based tests. But now you can administer, score and report a range of assessments using Q Global. So assessments can be administered by on-screen administration and remote administration for questionnaire tests, or by sharing the stimulus materials for telepractice. So just thought I'd outline some of the key points of both of the platforms here. So for Q Global, it is a web-based platform. So this requires the internet connection when you're assessing, scoring and reporting. It's accessible on any device. So you log in with your own username and password. This can be done anywhere and 24/7. On-screen and remote administration is available on selected products. So selected manuals and stimulus materials are now available in PDF or digital format. Some assessments still require paper record forms, or you have the option to use paper record forms still if you'd prefer not to use the device for administration. Group administration is available for assessments like the Ravens 2. Scoring is available for selected assessments. So you do this by entering the raw scores from your record form, or you use the scores collected on screen, and then the report is generated in a PDF or a Word format, ready for you to edit and save to your files. So to access Q Global, it's completely free. You just pay for the resources that you need, but please see the individual products for more information on this. Q Interactive is a fully digital platform that works from an online web platform called Central and an app called Assess, and this is administered on 2 iPads. So one iPad is the practitioners, and then the other iPad is the examinees. So assessments are administered using the 2 iPads instead of a large kit, but some of the assessments may still require physical components depending on what test. Assessments can be carried out offline, so batteries can still be tailored and adjusted offline. Test instructions, stimuli and scoring are all embedded in the clinician's iPad, so there's no need to check manuals and you're still in full control of the examinee's iPad. On-the-fly scoring and reporting. So online score reports can be downloaded as standard for your records. And some features of the app include note-taking and audio recording, which can be captured. Again, some physical materials may still be required, but no record forms are needed. And there is also an educational license available. So the educational license has been created for specialist teachers, SENCOs and educational psychologists who conduct assessments as part of their role. So the system serves the needs of the educational professionals by offering predictable assessment costs. The educational license provides access to the following popular tests. So we've got the RAT 5, the WIAT 3 UK, the EVT 3 and KTEA 3. This is for £88 per year per licence. You would then need to pay for each subtest that you use and any paper materials that is likely to be needed for the assessment, such as response booklets for the WRAP5 and the WIAT 3 UK. And we also do have a 30-day free trial, which is available. So if you do wish to take advantage of that, then please do. But don't forget, you will still need to have your 2 iPads before you sign up to this trial. So listed on screen are all of the contact details for the assessment consultants who work in the UK clinical team. So please feel free to contact us with any questions that you have regarding this webinar or anything else. And here you can see that we are offering a number of different types of free meetings at the moment. Due to COVID, we are still conducting these online via Teams. So you can book a 15-minute slot with us for a quick chat about telepractice and remote administration of assessments. You can book an online 60-minute demonstration of our digital platforms, or if you sign up to one of the platforms, you can have an onboarding session to make sure that you're feeling confident with the platform ahead of your assessment. Carolyn, Faye and I are also happy to book specific project meetings or to have a quick chat on the phone. Either way, we're happy to help you. So thank you for attending today's webinar. And again, if you've got any questions, then please do get in touch with Carolyn, Faye or myself. But thank you for listening.